Here is why juicing may not be the health kick you think it is. Let's jump straight into it.
Cerebral flow in my head I go. Try reach me now but my cell line slow. I keep it low, it's like where I go. Try teach me how but I said I know. People know me like you like hope and I need to know premise when I show. I collect my dough, do my thing and go.
Now, I already know what you're thinking. Like, come on, KT, you health people are killing me. Take away our soda, take away our treats. Now you're telling me I can't even juice. Like, what other party do you want to crash? And I get it. I completely understand. But here, let me offer you a little inside snippet, so to speak, a little self-reflection for you. I find that a lot of people do any and everything under the sun to avoid doing the one thing they know they should be doing. In this case, just eating your fruits and vegetables. You don't want to do that already, so you find every way to avoid it, to find ways to not do the one thing that you know you should be doing. And of course, when everything that you try ends up being something that you shouldn't be doing, what do we come back to? The original thing you should be doing in the first place. So yes, I do understand that it's frustrating with every attempt that you try to be healthy. There's someone out there saying that's not the way to do it. But if you stop avoiding the thing that you know you should be doing, then you can save yourself a lot of heartache, okay? So let me just go ahead and get into this video and tell you why juicing may not be the health kick you think it is. First up, when we juice, we're actually stripping those fruits and vegetables of their fiber. And we need the fiber, so that's why this is a problem. Fiber helps us feel full for longer. It helps us regulate our blood sugar. It helps with our bowel movements. It helps with weight management and so much more. So when we're stripping the foods of their fiber, we're losing out on all of these benefits. On top of that, a lot of the fiber has the nutrients that we need on a daily basis. So that vitamin A through K, all of that, lots of it is in the peels of fruits and vegetables. So when we're stripping that out, we're losing a little bit of it. Number two, it increases our sugar intake, the amount of sugar we have in our body. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, surely if I was switching from my daily Cokes and Sprites and having a fruit juice instead, isn't that healthier? To some degree. I mean, sugar, it's still sugar. Whether it's natural or added sugar, it's still sugar, meaning our bodies can only take so much. This is why added sugar is the problem, because we're already getting what we need from natural sugar to meet our daily intake. So back to this juicing example, let's say one apple has 20 grams of sugar. If we're sitting and eating a whole apple, we would probably only eat that whole apple. You wouldn't sit and eat 5 apples in one sitting, would you? Would you eat 5 apples during an entire day? You probably wouldn't. But the problem is you can juice 5 apples and easily consume that. Juicing 5 apples is probably going to give you maybe a cup of apple juice. You can drink that in one sitting. So you're actually consuming a lot more sugar when you are juicing your fruits because you're able to put so much more into them. If you get what I'm saying. So not only are you getting that sugar from the mango, you're getting the sugar from the banana, you're getting the sugar from those strawberries, you're getting the sugar from those berries, all these fruits that you threw into your juicer, you're getting all that sugar at once. And again, if you were to put all of that in a bowl of fruit, you most likely wouldn't eat all of that. You might eat a very small portion. So we can't consume as much sugar in its whole form as we can when it's in a liquid form. And that is why this is problematic to our sugar intake. And the third and final thing I will say about this is, consequently, and going with the other two things I mentioned, this is actually going to cause you to eat more down the line. So again, when you can quickly drink that cup of apple juice, as opposed to if you had eaten that apple in its full form, eating that apple would have made you feel full for a period of time, right? Maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half, depending on what your hunger levels was when you first ate it. When you're drinking a cup of apple juice, I mean, that's not nothing. You wouldn't consider having a cup of apple juice as a snack, would you? No, you would say this is something that I'm drinking along with something that I'm eating. So when you're just having apple juice, it's not filling anything at all, meaning you're going to go and eat more. So you're already having liquid calories that you just put into your mouth. That didn't do anything for your stomach, so now you're going to go and eat something else. On top of that, sugar actually spikes appetite. It's like an appetizer. So, when you're not hungry, you go to a restaurant, they give you like a little something to eat while you wait. Once you eat it, you're like, I'm kind of hungry now. Well, that's because the enzymes in your mouth have already started the digestion process. Your body has started the signals like, okay, now we're eating. Like, this is what we're doing. So the same happens when you drink juice. And especially when it's something that has sugar. Sugar actually spikes your craving. So now that you have this sweet taste in your mouth, you're like, well, now I want to eat more. So then you go to eat more, which makes you overindulge. You get what I'm saying? So actually having liquid calories over the span of the day increases the amount that you would eat had you had that food in its whole form instead. Because again, if you're eating 2 apples, that's going to last in your stomach a lot longer than the liquid drink was. And it's also because you can quickly down liquids. That's why people tell you to eat slow, because it gives your brain and gut connection time to signal that you are full. But when you're not given the time to do that, you can keep eating. So even if you do have food in this whole form, but you're eating it super quickly, it's almost similar to as if you're drinking something. You're not having the time. But when you cut up an apple and you sit there and eat it and you chew and you swallow, the digestion is taking longer, helping you feel full for a longer period of time. So that is why that is the preferred method over juicing. Okay, so now that I've rained on your parade, let me provide you a little bit of sunshine. So what can you do instead to kind of combat this? Because you love your fruit juices. It's what's keeping you away from drinking soda and other stuff like that. So maybe you want to keep that in your diet. So here's some things you can do. One, just sprinkle in a little more whole fruits and vegetables throughout the day. So if you're going to have a fruit juice for breakfast, make sure that your lunch has, a nice helping serving of some type of vegetable or fruit. Maybe later in the evening, your snack consists of some whole fruit. So let me not say do not. Avoid trying to have like fruit juice 3 times a day. So if you must have it, just make it like once that day and then have whole foods for the remainder of that day. The second thing we can do is pair your fruit juice with some kind of protein. So again, if you're going to have a cup of freshly juiced whatever that concoction you made, pair that with something. Maybe you have some grilled chicken or some salmon or some steak, some lamb, anything. So have that fruit juice with some protein. Again, that's a way to try to combat that feeling of fullness, because protein, along with fiber, helps us feel full. So if you're already stripped out the fiber by juicing whatever it is you're about to drink, at least pair it with some protein so that you can feel a little fuller. Third thing we can do is keep the pulp. Or, the little, so when people juice, if you've never done this before, sometimes at the very top of it, it's all this like foamy stuff. Well, a lot of the fiber, that's what that is from that juice. So keep it in your drink and drink it. That could be helpful. A lot of people, they filter that out so they could just have the pure juice in this form. But keep that foam, consume that. That'll be a way of putting a little bit of fiber back into your diet, and it can help you feel a little bit fuller even when you're drinking that drink. It's just like a smoothie. So again, a cup of apple juice versus a apple smoothie, because this is thicker, you're going to drink it slower. It's going to help you feel a little more fuller than if you just had it as a pure liquid. So this foam kind of serves as that in between. So keep it in your drink. And then lastly, pretty simple, but just don't juice every day. If you have to have that sweet tooth craving, try to find other ways, other methods of getting that sugar that you're looking for. This is going to take some time, and that's like I mentioned in my last video, it's about being able to implement these small habits and becoming a different person. So you're going to have to, over time, rid yourself of this sugar addiction that we have all become accustomed to since we came out the womb until whatever age we are now. That's what our body is. I've been a little side note, but I've been watching documentaries, and back before the Industrial Revolution and all that stuff, people, all the stuff we have now, they didn't have it. Like when you think about a plain bowl of oatmeal with just cooked as it is, no sugar, no honey, like nothing in it. Like that's what they ate, because these things we have now didn't exist. But that was fine to them. They didn't know of this sugar, so they weren't eating this thinking this is disgusting. They're just like, this is my food. So I feel like as we start to slowly try to get back to that stuff and rid ourselves of all this added sugar, our taste buds are going to adjust, and we will no longer be having these sugar cravings that we all have nowadays. So that's my spiel on that. I actually have a nice example for you here. So let me see if I can get this to zoom in and focus. Okay, so as we see here, there's no added sugar in this whatsoever, but still per cup, is 23 grams of sugar. So that's what I mean by, yeah, there's no added sugar and that's great, but it's still sugar. So we have to be careful with that. And before you ask yourself the question I would be asking if I was watching this video, I borrowed this. It's not mine. I know that nutrition is a very hard thing to manage in this society nowadays, but we do have tools out here, people like me putting out information to try to help you with that. So don't forget to subscribe to my blog and newsletter where I share a lot of these things. I send materials, free programs, free things that you can download to help you on your journey. So make sure you are subscribed and ready for that. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, you know what to do. Give me that thumbs up. Share this with someone who may be juicing all the time and you want to share this information with them, because let me tell you something. It's not about the knowledge that you can acquire. It's about the knowledge that you share. So word of mouth, one person at a time, is how we make revolutionary change. So it's your duty to spread knowledge once you get it, to help someone that you know is in need of this help. As always, don't forget to crush it, and I'll see you soon.